What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and finally, we got some good news. Over the last few days, it's been nothing but negativity and disappointment, and just a lot of complaining around the community because of a number of different problems. Today, we actually got some serious communication about Black Ops 6, Zombies specifically, and I know we're not going to be seeing a new title update to download until the end of this month, which I'm sure is going to contain a number of serious fixes, but today we got some hot fixes and other surprise announcements from Treyarch. Definitely stay tuned. With that being said, as you guys may have seen on Treyarch's Twitter, or maybe you didn't, they said they got a handful of zombie updates live today, which are reverting changes from January 3rd that nerfed fun. That is a real tweet, by the way, because yes, a lot of fun was nerfed, as we'll circle back to in just a couple of minutes. They mentioned they're going to be giving Shadow Rift 4 new buffs, which is fantastic. They're fixing some annoying leftover bugs from 2024, and they're going to be updating the Deadlight Greenlight LTM in weeks 2 and 3. So some fantastic news today to really end out this week because, like I said, it's been pretty quiet over the last few days. There really isn't much going on. But on January 3rd, we were all promised a fix for the Vermin issue where they're double hitting players. It's something as crazy as like the pre-nerf lions or tigers from 9 back in Black Ops 4. And sadly, over on the Trello board, Treyarch confirmed that this update was being pushed back until the end of the month with Season 2. And we're all scratching our heads like, wait a second, why not release a fix like that through a hot fix, not a full-fledged title update that we have to download? What seems to have changed with Black Ops 6? We were all really confused, really disappointed, but here are today's patch notes for Black Ops 6. As you guys will see, gotta go ahead and refresh the page there. There we go, at least that works. On Thursday, January 9th, as I said, global. They addressed an issue where Maya's Joyride operator would not be visible past 70 meters. That was a pretty big update over in Warzone. Addressed some visual issues with the events tab, and then addressed an issue where the audio was not playing for event milestone banners while in game. For multiplayer, red light, green light XP has been increased. So they're not increasing the XP you'll be rewarded with after finishing a game, which is great. That's cool for those out there that just want to play and enjoy that limited time mode for the next few weeks. They've also added various stability fixes across the board, hopefully to help out with the crashing issue, especially the DirectX crash that I know I've been seeing over on PC. But then for zombies, here's a big statement. They said, hey everyone, let's talk about those changes from January 3rd. The team is always focused on making zombies fun and rewarding. That's why we make games, but we don't always nail it the first time. Some fixes for bugs or exploits can become lower priority as more important issues come up, and some need to be held for an update further down the line. Last Friday's changes to Big Game for Shadow Rift, the Shock Chart speedrun step for Terminus, and directed mode spawn delays after 5 looped rounds are prime examples of these. We know it's not fun to see a fix multiple weeks later for something that wasn't bothering you in the first place, so we're reverting the directed mode changes, giving Shadow Rift 4 new buffs, and scheduling a fix to allow speedrunners to safely use the shock charge tactic in Terminus again. The first 2 are live now, with the speedrun fix needing some extra testing before it does go live. Bravo, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it's all about, right? Just open communication and just being transparent with the community, especially about that speedrun fix, which I'm going to get back to in a second. But they mentioned, thanks to everyone for the reports of visual FX not showing properly in Citadel and crashes that can happen when you're using a sword while Ether Shroud is active with the Void Sheath Augment. The team produced fixes for these bugs shortly after they popped up, and they are live today. Thank God. So luckily, we're back to what I thought we were going to get back to, which is just seeing hot fixes as often as possible and not waiting for major title update downloads to get fixes to silly issues that have been apparent for several weeks. Obviously, devs were on holiday break, so I totally understand the delay there with some of these Citadel issues, but something like the Terminus shock charge strat, for example, for that speedrun, that just made no sense to go ahead and fix, especially considering Terminus has been out for a while. I could understand like a week or 2 after a map comes out, they might fix a step or ruin a speedrun strat, but we're this late in the game now, there's no point in changing that. Thank God they went ahead and walked back on it. That's fantastic. Again, for those out there saying, okay, that's why it's good for the community to complain on Twitter or on social media, let me correct that, right? It's good to be respectful and, yeah, criticize things that maybe shouldn't have been fixed to begin with, but just be respectful. These people are human beings. Don't be evil on the internet because that's not going to do anything. But with Citadel Day More, they addressed an issue where using the Void Sheath Augment for Ether Shroud with one of the elemental swords would cause the match to crash. Addressed an issue where many visual effects would stop playing. And then for directed mode, addressed an issue where guidance would be incorrect if a player disconnected with a stamp. Addressed an issue where guidance would be incorrect each time a new stamp spawned. And addressed an issue where picking up the Solace after a stamp was spawned could prevent the quest progression. I probably mispronounced that sword completely, but directed mode, remove the extended time between rounds and the delay between spawning zombies after 5 looped rounds at the round cap. It was a silly change to begin with because a new strategy had already been discovered on Citadel with going to like round 12-ish and just going down to where craft is located. People are using that as a new and faster speed run strat when it comes to grinding Nebula. They were getting 2,000 headshots in like 20 minutes. So at this point, it's like, okay, you nerfed directed mode. People found the new strategy anyway. So I guess now that strat's going to probably stick for a while on top of the removal of the extended time between rounds. Directed mode is absolutely back when it comes to being the mode people want to grind camels in. But then for Shadow Rift, activation rates. As you guys can see, we got several buffs to the actual Shadow Rift itself. Normal enemy activation rate increased. Special enemy activation rate increased. Elite enemy activation rate with big game augment equipped has also been increased. And then the cooldown timer overall decreased by 25%. It was never intended to one-shot elites, but we know it worked like that for months, and we heard you about this latest change taking too much away from Shadow Rift overall. So we've added 4 buffs to make Shadow Rift activate more frequently, including a 25% cooldown reduction to keep it powerful and fun to use. Again, it's PvE, not affecting other real players at all like we would see in Modern Warfare Zombies last year. Might as well keep in things to help players be as overpowered as possible because it's fun at the end of the day, right? But then Deadlight, Greenlight. This is interesting. So as they said, added Liberty Falls to the map selection. I actually haven't seen that just yet. I know update requires restart popped up for everybody earlier. So if you go over to Deadlight, Greenlight, play solo, you will see Liberty Falls as an option, which also was an option when I was at the New York Squid Game event. I'm like, wait a second, they launched the mode without Liberty Falls now? But no, it's back. As they said, with the launch of this mode, we wanted to ease players into the LTM with a single map and a 10-round cap before Xville to make sure the majority of players had a chance to be successful without feeling they needed gobblegums to survive. Basically, a bite-sized experience that's not too punishing. Looks like it was too easy and over too soon for a lot of you. Yes, it was. I mean, round 10 just isn't that difficult at all, regardless of the Deadlight rounds where you get those purple-eyed zombies that chase you like super sprinters as if you're playing Transit. If you use gobblegums, you are fine anyway. But starting today, we've added Liberty Falls to the map selection and extended the round cap to 20. After that, we'll plan Week 3's round cap extension based on how crazy the community wants the challenge to get. So there you have it, right? I mean, round 20 isn't that hard, but they're going to increase it again after that to maybe 30, which kind of gets us to a point that I was mentioning in a recent Zombies video. I really want to see Gauntlet brought back in a new light with 30 rounds of difficult challenges. I guess this is the closest to that. It's kind of what Jingle Hells or Deadlight Greenlight should have been, but I think that's cool. They'll give us maybe a round 30 cap, which I think is fair. A lot of folks probably will have difficulty getting to that round. Unfortunately, quests are still disabled as well as the swords. It'll be interesting to see how folks can actually get to a higher round in this LTM with using whatever it is they can from the mystery box. So that's an improvement to give the LTM more life before it gets vaulted at the end of January, but they've also added various stability fixes. As they wanted to mention, sometimes bugs appear fixed in testing but turn out to still be an issue after the live game, after the patch notes go out. This sucks for everyone involved and it can lead to inaccurate patch notes, which we never want. The Vermin double attack bug is one of these, and the Terminus speedrun fix, the proper solution for it, unfortunately can't be implemented as quickly as some of the other items listed above. Look for those fixes when Season 2 launches on January 28th. So just to clarify, Season 2 is not getting delayed, which I know we've seen several times with recent Call of Duty titles, a significant delay for Season 2 by like a week or two. That's not happening for Black Ops 6, which is great, but like they mentioned, some fixes just sometimes can't get thrown into a basic and quick hot fix. They have to be put into a title update after significant more testing does get done. If you're wondering what's going on with Warzone, you can check the Trello board that was put together by Raven Software. Nothing seems to be scheduled. They're still investigating a number of problems, as you will see, with Battle Royale, Resurgence, and even Plunder. Nothing crazy seems to be on the way, but I'm sure Raven could still drop a couple of hot fixes before Season 2 at the end of the month. Obviously, the most significant change that is needed is a big buff to Ricochet, which Raven doesn't even work on, nor does Treyarch. Fingers crossed the anti-cheat team could get something rolling to ensure that Warzone, which is free to play, and ranked play, including both MP and Battle Royale, could get some improved security so that people can actually play the modes the way they were intended without worrying about the worthless cheaters that are out there. But that is about it. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. How are you feeling about today's Thursday update on January the 9th? Some really good communication and changes overall from Treyarch, especially when it comes to zombies. Leave our thoughts down below. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.